Not fully aware of what I was doing, I drove the enormous fang into my thigh. I didn't even feel the pain. The madness tearing through my mind went still, like a starving beast suddenly thrown fresh meat. The fiery avalanche of rage solidified into cold steel, sharp and controlled. Fenrir's fang had tasted blood and was ready to reward its feeder. "You want a blood harvest? Then have at them!" I unleashed the vines of muscadine, feeding them the divine wolf's rage and hatred. Each vine sprouted serrated tips, or so it seemed at first. But as soon as they pierced flesh, the tips morphed into ravenous fanged maws, tearing and devouring from the inside out. The vines erupted from my body, cutting down enemy after enemy. The fusion of two divine artifacts rendered ordinary magic useless against them. Any attempts to attack me proved futile. The vines had a will of their own, functioning as both perfect killers and even better defenders. Bodies fell at my feet one by one, rivers of blood spilling across the ground until the earth could no longer absorb it. The last man standing before me was Chryson. A murky barrier surrounded him, already covered with more than a dozen vines latched onto its surface, struggling to break through. Arkady Ivanovich stared at me with a mix of terror and envy. How did you get two gods as your patrons? It's unlawful, heretical. This can't be possible. His voice rose into a shrill shriek as he noticed the barrier thinning under the relentless assault of ever-new vines. The writhing, hungry mass nearly engulfed him. "No! This is the Emperor's shield! You can't! No one can! No one!" Chryson's final hysterical scream was drowned out by the wet sounds of the vines feasting. His protective sphere popped like a soap bubble. The ravenous tendrils lifted him into the air and tore him apart, leaving not a single scrap of flesh to hit the ground. I stood amid the carnage, barely comprehending what had just happened. The vines, one by one, coiled around me like affectionate serpents before dissolving into mist. When the last of them vanished, a sharp crunch resonated in my thigh. Dazed, I watched as fragments of bone, once Fenrir's fang, spilled from my wound. The infernal artifact was disposable. That, at least, was a relief. In the eerie silence that followed, a desperate call pierced through the lingering haze of bloodlust. Marcus, reaching out through the blood link. "Baron, if you can still hear us, we need help. They didn't go for the school. They're in the villages, slaughtering our civilians."